And like, I can also imagine like you've also personally, because right now we're just talking about the entertainment industry, but you've personally also felt the knock of COVID, you know, of everything, like what's been happening around the world. And I'm just going to flip it two ways, you know. What are some of the sacrifices you personally needed to make? Let's talk about before COVID and in COVID. Before COVID, to be in the space, to be in the entertainment space, and during COVID, the sacrifices you needed to make to sustain yourself and make sure that you still run, you know.
I think, man, you know, before COVID is paying your dues, you know.
Yeah.
Working a show for 300 rands because you're trying to get in, you know, I get like a lifetime of the 8 years, the 10 years it takes, you know. Sometimes it's 2 years, sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 10 years. I'm like, it's the consistent fight of having to prove to people you're good enough. You know, the first one, like, you take a show for 300 rands where they should be paying you 5K because I want to do the show. I want to be inside.
Yeah.
You know, not knowing how you go back home. You know, you have to wait for a taxi in the morning. You know, as a sound guy, it was bad, man. Like, you know, there'd be shows starting out during my first year. I think the first show I took, in my first year, they had said they're not paying. But then they ended up paying us like 300 or 500 for like 4 days.
And what were you doing there?
For what? Being like a sound technician. So for each band, I'd be in charge of the keys, making sure the keys are set up, the line is set up, setting up the speakers, everything, you know, by being like a junior sound tech guy. But it was still a lot of hard work. You know, some guys will tell you those speakers are not light.
They're heavy, man.
They're heavy, you know. The sun is burning you. You're connecting, you know. They're giving you 2 lunch a day and maybe breakfast, dinner or lunch. You know, I'm learning. I got to pay my dues. It's not about the money then. I need to be good at what I do. And I became good at what I did. You know, as a sound guy, everyone started calling me Lingy. The money became better. You know, you have to build a report. But it was still difficult because you're like, you are getting much more money, but you're balancing it with school. You're balancing it with this.
Yeah.
You know, school is like 90,000. You know, accommodation is another 4,000. You know, your parents are paying, they're helping, they're doing this, they're helping you get to your dream, you know. But the biggest sacrifice comes when you're like, you're not even in touch with your friends anymore. Because during the week is school, weekend you're at work. I'm coming back Monday from a show. I'm tired. Need to go back to school. Your friends are like, hey, we don't see you. Hey, you've changed. No, I text you. You know, that's the best I can do because right now you working. When I'm off, you working, you know. You start having friendships that like just fall away. But you always have your core friends because, you know, so people.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's things like that where your social life kind of like deteriorates because there's this dream you're chasing. You know, the sacrifice, the having to, you know, push yourself to the limit where you don't break because you love this thing. And it's really, really difficult. You know, we don't tell enough people how difficult this industry is.
100%.
I think we just go like, no, man, just have USBs, come play. You are done.
Yeah.
PR. Yo, guys, there's a lot of politics.
There's a lot
of, you know, emotional toll. There's a lot of competition. You know, South Africa, 40% unemployment rate.
Sure.
A lot of people are becoming DJs now. A lot of people are becoming influencers. People aren't doing corporate jobs anymore. Think about how somebody who's been DJing for 10 years has never went to Nigeria. One person blows up on TikTok and Instagram, they're in Nigeria within a month. You know, how does that person feel? You know, after sacrificing, building the sound, you know, it becomes diplomatic, but that's why I understand when people are very protective of what they do. You know, some people are gatekeepers who make our life difficult to get into the spaces, but some people are protective of the sound, of heritage, of whatever they're doing because they don't want chances. Because it's so easy for somebody who's so undeserving to get in to somebody who's deserving, who's sacrificed their life.
Yeah.
You know, for that thing. And it's a lot, man. I've sacrificed a lot. I mean, even in COVID, something that's very personal, you start sacrificing love. Because like a woman needs to get taken care of.
Yeah.
You know, stuff. No, you're not gonna, you know. And I'm like, you think about just the relationship dynamic.
Sure.
You know, with a lover, with friends. Let's go to Saints. It's Thursday. And you're like, I know we need to spend 1K minimum. You know, do I go? Do I stay? You know, I've just been fortunate because I have friends who are understanding. I've also been smart with my money, you know, but it's been bad. Like, it's not like it's rosy. It's been bad where, you know, you have to sacrifice how you live. You know, you have to sacrifice so much because you're like, okay, this money needs to take me to this point. I need to survive to this point, you know. And I'm like, I'm one of the few fortunate ones, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, I've had things that were running during COVID.
Yeah.
You know, we did sync deals, we did like show interviews with ending pounds that helped us, you know, like
push the extra
hey,
mile,
that's when it's
the conversion rate.
When it converts, you know, you can survive another 3 months, 4 months, you know. I've been fortunate myself to have friends who also just say, my man, now we're working nice, don't worry, drinks are on us, come out, dinging, you know. It's helped me a lot because my friends just understood the position where I am. And because we're good friends, you know, when I'm up, they know, don't worry. You know, they knew during festivals, backstage access, thinking, you know, I got them.
You were the guy.
You know, but now it's changed, you know, where it's like, my brother, we can sort of incomers slow down.
Yeah.
And obviously, Luan, we can't expect you to, like, we invite you, split the bill, and we're not sure if next week you're making money. You know, I think having considerate family members, friends, people who just understand your situation without you having to say it. I've never had to ask my friends help. One of my friends just called me like, my brother, I'm with you. If it does get bad or if you just need money, just tell me. You know.
Sure.
You know, so I'm fortunate. I know a lot of people who are unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know, who were earning nothing. Peanuts in the industry. Now you can imagine already you're earning peanuts. Now there's no income at all. You know, like, there's been groups, man, you hear the horror stories. People have kids, man. Like, when I say sometimes I've cried, it's not even crying for me. You know, somebody texting me, yo, Ntanga, can I get something? Can I just shadow you? I want to be a manager. It's tough and sound, you know, leading in, because most of these guys, I knew them as a sound guy. You know, and now because I've always told them, like, this industry is tough, it's difficult, it's
volatile,
unfair, you know. So I've moved away because even a lot of people are like, man, we see you love sounding. Is that your plan? Like, nah, it was just a way to get into the industry, get access, know people, linging. Once I've gotten to a level where I can move to the next phase, I'll take it. But a lot of people didn't have that plan. A lot of people just said, I'm a sound guy, or I'm at this, I'm at that. Now, once it closes down, there's no notice. Man, I remember someone was like, a guy I worked with, they just called us and said, there's no pay. We're not going to be paying anyone. Like, we've retrenched everyone, essentially. They didn't even have benefits. They didn't have annuity funds. They didn't have anything. Because you're earning 1,000 a weekend, bro.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the unfortunate things. Like, I don't know how to put it, but part of this industry as well, it's like, it's not well structured, well regulated, where it takes care of the people even in unfortunate circumstances, you know.
You know, but what I think, it's not just that, man. It's having ethics, having morals.
Yeah.
You know, like, at some point, people must just be good people. You can't be living in a 20 million rand house, own equipment for 40 million. Make $1 million off a show, understaff people, then not pay them. And go like, no, there's no money linging.
Yeah.
But you think about it, it's not even just the industry. LLB graduate, own car, 6,000. I saw a tweet. Imagine. They're like, candidate attorney, 6,000. It's not just the entertainment industry. It's businesses squeezing. It's squeezing the talent, the skills, the labor force. Salaries aren't going higher. They're going lower. You're seeing things where somebody will tell my man, back in 90s, my uncle said, man, you know me starting, I started with like 30,000 out of vets, chem engineering. I bought my car when I was graduating. That is my uncle's story. Like when I graduated, went to VW, collected my first car. Because already I knew. You know, already I knew what was happening.
Yeah.
Today, a graduate doesn't know what's happening, bro. It's not even the entertainment industry. We always speak about structure. There's structure. I come work for you. That's structure. You hire me to do a job.
It's contracted, yeah.
It's structure. I can't just come. Am I good at what I'm doing? Yes, I'm good. Pay me my money. The reason some of these festivals or promoter, the rhythm is going to hire out a sound company. Why? Because you know those guys, not just the sound itself, the technical crew is good at what they do.
Yeah.
I remember, bro, like, I've had internationals that come to me, and one of the biggest one was Cosmic Gate, you know, one of my favorite trance DJs in the world. I was a stage manager at H2O, you know. Remember, I think it had been 3 weeks back-to-back shows, both as Dance, H2O, Spring Fiesta, Rockin' the Daisies.
Oh, yeah, the lineup, yeah.
You know, and my next show was Rockin' the Daisies. I only had one off before going to Rockin' the Daisies, you know. Bruh, I'm just doing my job, being professional, working hard. These guys, after the show, you know, they came to me, they're like, bruh, we've been to a lot of shows, but you as a stage manager, I want to tell you, like, you're one of the best we've ever worked with.
Sure.
You know, and I'm like, that's the thing, you know, these artists tell us how good we are. And these are guys who've been to Tomorrowland, the Ultra, for them to go to the green room and before leaving, come back on stage while we're striking, just to thank you. You know, you as an individual has done their job well. Companies don't see that. They're just like, it's my company. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, and they should just be a decency. People should just have ethics. People should just have morals
100%.
and be fair. You know, I always bring this up when I'm like, in 2016, there was an article that said South African CEOs are the 7th best paid in the world.
In the world?
In the world.
Yeah.
You know, so they're competing. The guys above them is both China, USA, the UK leading in. But those are big markets. Just think about that. Where we have the highest inequality in the world, South African CEOs
have the
top
7th
best. How many countries do you have? 100 and something. These guys are top 10. And they probably, I can guarantee you, in the top 40, no other African country was in there. I can guarantee you. And just in the top 40, no other African country was probably in there. And that's how, you know, this thing is not just even about entertainment industry. It's just the whole thing has been that labor has just been turned into a exploitation.
Yeah.
They're like, man, somebody else will pick up. If you don't want to come, somebody else is going to come. And that's the issue. People just not saying Punk deserves 10,000. It's not about somebody else is going to do it for 5K. This job I'm hiring you for is worth 10,000 and I must pay you 10,000.
Yeah.
I've had shows, my man, I tell them how much I charge because I was starting. I don't know, like,
that's
Punk
the thing. Like, you're starting, you search.
I see a stage manager, how much do you want? Ntwana, 500 is cool. You know, I've had shows where, and this is what I'm talking about, ethics. You know, I'd say, guys, I charge like 5K or 10,000 a day for stage management. I'm like, really? Now I'll pay you 15K. You know, I remember I went to, one of the funniest stories is when I was auditioning to be Nadia Nakai's road manager. Go there, I'm talking to my friends, how much must I ask? You know, like, hey, it's family tree, you know, singing. I think I asked for like 9,000. I'm still a student. I'm like, 9,000 is cool. I'm working on the weekends, fella.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool, bro. It's like, it's not like I need the money. Somebody suggested the job, you know. Siwuma Ben was actually the one who was like, yo, check out this kid. He's quite talented, you know. because I worked with the co fill up FMB and we stayed in touch, you know.
Yeah.
She's like, nah, this kid has something, you know, just should try, just put me in spaces. When then I'm like 8,000, 9,000, I don't know. They're like, don't worry, we're gonna hit you with like 15. I'm like, what? That time, like, I'm going from earning 300, 500 doing sound.
Yeah.
These guys are like, all you need to do is be a road manager, get to shows, check if everything is good. These are your duties, or give you 15K.
Sure.
I'm like, what? And that's what I'm saying. There is no education. It goes back to the structure is there. But you need to say, as a DJ, if you have this much power, this is what you should charge.
Yeah.
If you're up and coming, why are you charging? You're charging for what? You must tell me. Petrol, food, I'll give you that money. Because as a promoter, am I making money off of you? No. But you are talented. I must at least cover your costs and give you something to take home. But it's having proper conversations. Now you have people who don't even bring one person to your show. They want 5,000. I know you're a good DJ.
Yeah.
You're a good DJ. Sure, fair. But there's other good DJs who are reasonable and they understand what they bring to the table. And that's the thing. You'll get paid well once people see your value or your value is established. And I think that's the other thing where we must be fair also. If you don't know anything, you can't charge 10,000.
Yeah.
That's just like, I paid my dues. I didn't do anything. I went with the flow. But I started realizing my value as time went. And I started asking the guys, my G, how much are you charging? You've been doing this for 10 years. So my G, 1.5 a day. Sure. Then I started saying 1.5 a day. Some of the guys would pay because they'd see, nah, this guy knows what he's doing. Some of them would go like, there's somebody else for 300, so I'm not going to use you. But it's that education, it's that structure of saying people must just be honest. Like, you can't regulate it because one show is going to make 1 million, one show is going to make 10,000.
Yeah.
So now, must I pay Punk 10,000 when I'm making 10,000 and this show is making 1 million and can afford to pay Punk 10,000? You know, negotiations.
Yeah. Punk's
fee is 20,000 sharp. But Punk, there's a difference of playing at Great Dane and Rocking the Daisies.
Yeah.
Don't we share? Great Dane makes 5,000 on door. How is Punk asking for 20,000? You also need to see where you are playing. Rocking the Daisies, a lot of money. They'll fly you, they'll pay you because it's a well-funded festival. You know, and that's just the different things you also need to understand. Like a structure.
100%.
You can't expect Rocking the Daisies and a Great Dane to have the same structure. You know, they're paying better salaries.
Yeah.
Because they have a bigger market. You know, you can't expect the rhythm to compete with Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Tomorrowland has been doing it for over a decade.
100%.
We've only been doing it for like 5 years.
Yeah.
There is a difference of expectancy that we don't speak about. And I think that blurs the line when we say structure. Structure is there, but expectancy must be met. It's like me and you, if today I become your manager, we have to sit down and say, what do you want to do when as Punk?
Yeah.
You know, that's us building structure. Like Valentine, if I can play alt, you've done your job. The whole year you might not get gigs, then play alt. Have I failed you? No.
Yeah.
You said you just want to play alt.
You did your
or you
did
can,
what
you got what I'm saying? I didn't fail you. But you can say, Tang, my goal is to play alt. But I also do want to play Summit. I want to play Great Day. I want to play drama. I want to get 4 gigs a month. Let's start there. You know, then I can say it's possible because you have a hot song out. And I know people already who like you, who I can speak to. Some will just book you because it's me coming. But sometimes I can say, we're not there yet. You know, you can say, either this guy knows how to help me to get there, or he doesn't believe in me. Or when I get expectancy is important.
Yeah.
But the structure was set out. You know.
Yeah, so just to wrap it up, man, I think there's a lot as a industry, the entertainment, eventing industry particularly, specifically, can do, you know, to better itself.
100%.
There's a lot like we can do, a lot people can do, event organizers, promoters, all these people, venue owners. There's a lot that they can do, you know, especially in the times we're living in. It's COVID times. in what ways, just to wrap it up, in what ways can we better the eventing industry, make it COVID proof, if that's even possible, but just make it not just an experience, but something that is well put together, that people come there. It's not just something that's like, I don't even know what's going on, but how can we adjust in a progressive manner, if I can put it that way?
I think the first question of saying, how can we make it COVID proof? You can't. you can't.
Yeah.
But we can prepare to make sure that the spread is not working. It's not just going. And one thing Rage did, you're like, no, we're going to have screening. We must test when you get to the door. But we're still doing, a safe distancing, but each individual must test. If it's positive, you don't get into the festival. Things like having, your vaccine certificates, your tests, people must test regular, but it's expensive. It's $750, $850, So it's things like that where you're like, some people are putting them in place, but it's also difficult because now, if I'm just a normal person who has to go to a show, linging, I have to go test first, have that thing. It's
a lot of red tape. Yeah.
It's a lot of red tape. So it's like the admin of it, there's already ideas, there's already things that we can implement. But is it feasible? Even for the event, they're doing the tests. How many test kits must they buy? So now it's coming off of their budget. It's like, who's going to cover that? So the thing that right now is being done is just that people just need to vaccinate. And then what's happening is that there is just like, homecoming, what they did, they just tried like, you book a table. So it's not a festival anymore. You sit on your table, linging. Obviously people go, hey, what's up, ling? But in that, everyone kind of like has their own space. So it doesn't spread as much because once you have a dance floor and it's just everyone is on the dance floor, it's more difficult. But once people can just have somewhere they're chilling, they know, okay, I must be in this space.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like, you can do that, but even that, unless you barricade people in, which a lot of festivals have been doing in the UK, leading in where you actually buy like a section. So it'll be you and 8 friends or 10 friends.
Oh, yes,
you guys section, leading in. You have waiters coming to you. So you don't go to the bar. The waiter comes to you, takes your order. There's things like that that's been done. But, the other one was the car thing. Artists performing.
Or like a drive-by, yeah.
But let's be honest, nobody wants that.
It's not practical,
and that's why a lot of the big festivals haven't come back. They're like, it's so much admin. It's so much just like, if I have 10,000 people, I'm trying to book Lil Baby or whoever. Lil Baby's charging $500,000. The amount of sections limits the amount of people I can have at a show. So I'm going to lose money anyway. Unless, a sponsor comes like, here's 15 million. Okay. I can do that because I've made my money already. I don't need to depend on tickets. So, man, like even wearing masks, it's difficult because people want to drink. And the reality of it is that once I'm in festival grounds, take it off, put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
So there's been safety measures. There is new ideas with virtual parties and whatever. That's like, it's not making sense because people aren't going to the shows. People are buying tickets for some of these things. We did one where it was ticketed. We had Focalistic, Clyde, Pretty Ugly. People bought tickets, it was online or whatever. Those are the other alternate solutions we're speaking about.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is that as an organizer, I'm sitting there and I'm like, it's really not worth having these things because it's going to cost more. It's going to be more riskier unless we have sponsorships on board. That's the reality of it. Because at the end of the day, when you host a show, you want people to have a good time.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to have a good time if you're just in your own section. You can't go greet a stranger and say, hey, you also like this song. The things we like about going to a festival.
Yeah.
When you lock eyes with a stranger for the first time and they're like, You don't even have to talk. You just like the song, move your eyes, and you just, when people are just crying at the front and all of that, So for me, it's like, at what cost do we also take that away from people who come to the shows for that, who love hugging strangers and all that?
Yeah. No, man. Thank you so much. And I think this conversation has shed a lot of light, to people that are aspiring to be in this industry. I think you did share a lot of realities that people need to face. It's not as fun. It's not entertainment. It's not entertainment. And I like the fact that you were sharing that there's a lot of social sacrifices you need to make. And the irony of that is that what you do is you bring people together. But you had to sacrifice your social life.
My man.
So, yeah, man, thank you for shedding so much light. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, it's been a really good conversation. And I hope, things just get better and better and better and better. And, you said you're planning to do a lot of things. You want to do other stuff as well. When the time is right, you're going to make it known to people. I just want that to go well, man. And thanks, thank you for coming to the show.
Thanks, man. I hope it can have season 100 episodes,
Yeah.
Good luck with the podcast. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I always say that we don't have enough of these.
Yeah.
Where it's actual industry talk, where it's the people in the backgrounds coming on. So it's a very good thing you're doing, bro.
I know. Thank you, man.